Or yeah, good evening, everyone. So today we'll discuss about subqueries in SQL. Right, let us see what is this subquery and how to work with this subqueries. We'll see. Is it clear? So here we'll discuss about subquery. Let us see what is this subquery. Subquery means what? Query inside another query is called as subquery. Is called as subquery. Query inside another query is called as subquery. So always in subquery, inner query will get executed first. Is it clear? Always in subquery, inner query will get executed first. And the result of the inner query is given to outer query. Okay. So subquery means what? Query inside another query is called as subquery. So here always in subquery, inner query will get executed first. Will get executed first. The result of the inner query. So syntax for subquery is very simple. Outer query of inner query. This bracket open, bracket close is called a subquery operator. Parenthesis is called a subquery operator. So always in subquery, inner query will get executed first. Okay, na? And the result of the inner query, was given to outer query. The result of the inner query was given to outer query. That is your subquery. Is it clear, everyone? For example, if I take one example like employee table having e number, e name, and salary. Here 101, here Anil, here 20,000, here 102, here Sunil, here 30,000. Most powerful topic in SQL Server is subquery only. Most of the interviewers will ask questions on subquery. Okay, na? Some 50,000. Now, if I ask you, write a query to display maximum salary of an employee. So how to write the query means, here you can see, write a query to display the maximum salary of an employee. Okay, so the query will be something like this. Select max of salary. Select max of salary from EMP. It will display the maximum salary of an employee. And similarly, if I ask you, write a query to display second maximum salary of an employee. So here you can write the subquery. Select max of salary from EMP where salary less than, okay na, where salary less than, select max of salary from EMP. So first what will happen? The inner query will get executed. The result of the inner query is 50,000. And the result of the inner query given to outer query. Now read the outer query. Select max of salary from EMP where salary less than 50,000. So the output will be 40,000. Like that, you can write the second maximum salary of an employee. Write a query to display third maximum salary of an employee. Means how to write? Is it clear? This is your subquery actually. Always the inner query will get executed first. And the result of the inner query given to outer query. So here you can write select maximum of 32. Select comments you can write in a single subquery. Select max of salary from EMP where salary less than. This is your subquery. First the inner query will get executed 50,000. And the result of the inner query given to outer query. Select max of salary from EMP where salary less than 50,000. Salary, actually column names must be salary. Okay, na? So the output of this query is 40,000. And the result 40,000 given to outer query. So select max of salary from EMP where salary less than 40,000. You will get 30,000. Is it clear? So always the inner query will get executed first and the result of the inner query given to outer query. So if you want to read the data from multiple tables also, you can use subqueries. You can use joins also. But subquery, performance-wise, subquery is better than join. Let us see some scenarios. For example, I will try to take one table with name employee, with columns employee number, employee name, salary. Here 101, here Anil, here some 20,000. Here 102, here Sunil. Here I'll try to take 30,000. Here I'll give 103. Here I'll give Ajay. Here I'll give 40,000. And similarly, here I'll try to take one more table with name student, with the columns student number, student name, age. Okay, now here I'll try to give student number, some S1 I will give, student name I'll give some Ram, and here 20 I will give, and here I'll try to give student number S2. Here I'll try to give Rahim, and here I'll give 22. Is it clear? And here I'll try to give something like S3. Here I'll try to give Robert some 23, something like the otherwise some 20 I will try to give, something like this. This is student table. I have employee table and here I have student table. We'll try to write some queries. Can you hear my voice, everyone? No, sir, now. Can you hear my voice? Okay, now here I will try to create one more table with name department, with columns department number, department name. I'll try to give 10 ECE. Here I'll try to give 20 CSC. Here I'll give 30. Here I'll try to give triple E. This is department table. And here I'll try to create one more table. Let us assume I'm developing a project for a particular college to maintain the student details. Course ID, course name, and here I'll try to give D number. And here I'll try to give C1. Here I'll try to give .NET. Let us assume here I'll give 20. Here I'll try to give C2. Here I'll try to give Java. Here I'll give 20. Here I'll try to give C3. Here I'll try to give SQL Server. Here I'll give 20. These all courses belongs to what? CSC department. Primary key and foreign key relationship is that, you think like that. Okay, na? And here I'll try to give C4. Here I'll try to give C4. Here I'll try to give EDC. Here I'll try to give course department number 10. Are you following, everyone? So there are some tables are there. I'm developing a project for a particular college to maintain the employee details, student details, course details, department details, etc. And here I'll try to create one more table with name enrollment, having student number and department number. Is it clear? And here I'll try to give student number S1. S1 is working in EC department. So enrolled in EC department. S2 enrolled in CSC department. S3 enrolled in CSC department. This is my enrollment table. Okay, and here I'll try to create something like instructor table, having employee number, department number. And here I'll try to teach something like 101. Anil is working in EC department, 10 now. Sunil is working in CSC department, 20. Ajay is working in CSC department, 20. Something like this. This is instructor table. And here I'll try to give something like you can tell something like create one more table for course table, something like which course is teaching by which employee. So here I'll try to give course instructor table, course instructor. Here I'll try to give something like employee number and course ID. Okay, na employee number and course ID. Employee number I will try to give 101. Anil is teaching .NET. Anil is EC kada C4. He is teaching EDC. And here I'll try to give Sunil 102 C1. And here I'll try to give 103. Here I'll try to give 103. I will try to give 103. I will try to give something like he is teaching SQL Server C3, because one faculty can teach more than one course, no? That is the reason. And again 104. I'll try to give he is also teaching .NET C1. This is your course instructor table. These all are the tables belongs to our project. Some sample tables are created. Did you understand, everyone? So your employee table, student table, department table, course table. In employee table, employee number is primary key. In student table, student number is primary key. In department table, department number is primary key. Course table, course ID is primary key. Course table, department number is foreign key. Enrollment table, student number is foreign key. Enrollment table, D number is foreign key. S number, D number combinedly composite primary key. Instructor table, E number foreign key. D number foreign key, E number, D number composite primary key. Course instructor table, E number foreign key, CID foreign key, combinedly composite primary key. So if we want to retrieve the data, from multiple tables, or we can retrieve the data. Is it clear? We can retrieve the data from multiple tables. We can retrieve the data from multiple tables by using two ways. One is by using joins. Other one is by using subqueries. Okay, na? But there are some problems with the joins. Performance point of view, subquery is best compared with joins. So as a developer, you must know when to use which one. These are the tables I have created here. These are some tables. Okay, now here we have some tables I have created depending on my requirement. So as a developer, you must know how to work with that tables. Is it clear? Subquery means query inside another query is called as subquery. Is it clear? So if you want to retrieve the data from more than one table, you can retrieve the data in two ways. One is by using subquery, other one is by using joins. So as a developer, you must know when to use subquery and when to use joins. Is it clear? For example, if I ask you something like this, write a query to display the employee names who are working in ECE department. Write a query to display the employee name who are working in ECE department. So observe clearly who is working in ECE department. How you write the query. In the question, if you read the question properly, the hint you got is ECE department. So first of all, go to department table. There catch the department number of ECE. What is that one? 10. Okay, now department number of ECE is 10. Now go to which table? student table, but there is no direct common column is not there between student and department. Now go to instructor table. Catch the employee number of 10. Who is the employee number of 10? 101. Now go to employee table. Who is 101? Anil. So who is working in EC department means Anil. So now you worked with how many tables? 3 tables. See how I identified that Anil is working in EC department manually. First go to department table, catch the department number of EC, that is 10. Next go to instructor table, catch the employee number of 10, that is 101. Now go to employee table, who is 101? Anil. So now I will try to write the subquery. First go to which table? Department table, catch the department number of EC. Catch the department number of EC. So what to do? Here I will try to write. First I will try to write the inner query. Always subquery write the inner query. First write the inner query. And the result of the inner query you have to give to outer query. Okay na? So I will try to write. What I will do? I will catch the department number of EC. So to catch, select D number from DEPT where D name is equal to EC. This is the inner query. So the result of this query is what? 10. Now go to instructor table. Catch the employee number of 10. How to write? Select E number from instructor. Select E number from instructor where D number in. Where D number in. This is your subquery. First the inner query will execute and the result of the inner query given to outer query. The result of the inner query is what? 10. Now outer query. Select E number from instructor where D number in 10. You will get 101. Now at that result given to outer query. Again select E name from EMP where E number in. Where E number in. This is your subquery. So query inside another query, that is your subquery. Is it clear? You can write the query in this manner. First the inner query will execute. The result of the inner query is 10. That result of the inner query given to outer query. So select E number, that is what? 101. Now that 101 given to outer query. Select E name from EMP where E number is equal to 101. So always the inner query will get executed first. The result of the inner query given to what? Outer query. The result of the inner query given to outer query. This is your subquery. Okay, now this is your subquery. If you want, you can write the same query by using joins also. If you want, you can write the same query by using what? Joins. How to write the join query? Select E dot E name from EMPE. Select E dot E name from EMPE. Inner join. DEPT is not there directly. Common table is instructor. Instructor I on what? E dot E number is equal to D dot D number. Again inner join. Again inner join DEPT D on D dot D number. D dot D number is equal to I dot D number, where D dot D name is equal to EC. This is your join query. Yes or no? This is your join query. And you can write the query in how many ways? 2 ways. Both will give the same output. Is it clear? Okay, na? So you can ask me, sir, what is the difference between this one and that one? Means a lot of variation is there. See how the join query will execute, you know. Join query, every row of left table with match with every row of right table. Is it if there are 2 rows are there? If there are m rows and in left table and n rows in right table, then join query will execute m into n times. So how the join query will execute, you know, first row with first row with second, third, only second with first, second, third with the first. Like this, it will, the number of the query execution time will take more time. Okay, na? But subquery, what you know, first it will execute the inner query. First it will execute the inner query. It will directly get the department number of ECE. See, here this query result is directly you got 10. Once you got 10, that 10 is given to outer query. So in outer query, again, select E number from instructor where D number in 10. So directly it will catch 101. And again, that 101 result given to outer query. Select E name from EMP where E number is equal to 101. That is Anil. So within 3 trips, your query gets executed. That is your subquery. Is it clear? Are you following? Instructor. What happened? Select e dot ename from empe inner join. Instructor I on e dot e number is equal to d dot e number inner join deptt on d dot d number. That's right. Actually, my query is right. No doubt about that. Okay, now. So execution point of view, where it is wrong here, it is right only, no? Select e dot e name from emp inner join instructor I on e dot e number is equal to d dot d number. E dot e number is equal to I dot d number. Yes, sorry. I dot d number inner join deptt and d dot d number is equal to I dot d number. Yes, now it is right. Sir, now. So anyway, always in so you can write this query in how many ways? 2 ways. One is by using join query, other one is by using subquery. Both will give the same output. But performance point of view, subquery will work fast compared with join query. Similarly, write a query to display the student names who are enrolled in CSC department. Write a query to display the student names who are enrolled in CSC department. So how to write? So how to identify? First go to department table. Catch the department number of what? CSC. Manually with common sense you identify the output. Later you can try to write the query. Subquery is fast compared with joins because it will directly fetch the data from the table. So what is the question I asked? I want to display the student names. Display student names who are working in CSC department. Display the student names who are working in CSC department. Okay, na? Now here what to do? First go to which table? Department table. Catch the department number of CSC 20. Stop chatting here. Give me some time. At the end you can ask the questions. So here first try to understand the concept. First, what I'm asking, display the student names who are working in CSC department. So first go to department table, catch the department number of CSC 20. Now go to which table? Student table. But there is no common column between these two. No. Now go to instructor table. Enrollment table. In enrollment table, catch the department student number of 20. Who are there? S2 and S3. Now go to student table. Who is S2, S3? Rahim and Robert. So 3 tables. One is department, second table is enrollment, third table is student. So how to write the subquery? First write the inner query. Select see how I am writing. Select department number from DEPT where D name is equal to CSC. Where D name is equal to CS. That is inner query. First get the department number 20. Now the result of this department number give the to enrollment table. Now outer query. Select S number from enrollment where D number in. Where D number in. This is your outer query. First the inner query will execute now. The result of the inner query is 20. Now this result is given to outer query. So here the outer query. Select E number from enrollment where D number in operator is called as subquery operator. It will behave like OR operator. Mostly while working with subqueries, we'll use in operator. Yes or no? So the result of this outer query is what? S2 and S3. Now select S name from student where S number in. Where S number in. If you start writing the query from starting, you cannot write in your entire life. So always in subquery, how to write, how I am writing, you try to follow the same methodology. And mostly one more important point, what I'm telling is in real time, when you identify interviews also, they will not give you the tables, but you have to imagine. You have to imagine the tables and try to apply. That's what some reasoning and aptitude skills are required, especially. And if you want to work with join query, you can write how to write join query. Select S dot S name from student S inner join enrollment E on S dot S number is equal to E dot S number. Again, inner join dept d on d dot d number is equal to e dot d number, where d dot d name. If anybody misses the join queries, you can go to YouTube and type joins by Kannababu, or you can search in Sacha Technologies website. Also, you can get in the Sacha Technologies YouTube channel. Also, you can get CSC. This is your what subquery and join query. Logic. This is only logic. As a developer, you need to understand the requirement. You have to observe the tables. Initial days, if you want to learn, you have to observe the tables. Later, slowly, you can understand by common sense. You have to apply actually. So query inside another query is called a subquery. Did you understand, everyone? Now you can ask me, sir, when to use joins? Here you can ask me when to use joins and when to use subqueries. When to use joins and when to use subqueries. Okay, na? So if we want to retrieve multi columns, if we want to retrieve columns from multiple tables, or if you want to display columns from multiple tables, then in multiple tables in the output, then it is recommended to use joins. If we want to display the columns from multiple tables in the output, then it is recommended to use joins. Subqueries will not work. Means what, you know? For example, here I have tables are there, no? Here I have tables. If you want to retrieve the columns from multiple tables, is it clear? This is your when to use subqueries and joins. I'm telling. Write a query to display student name along with department name. How you write? Select student details along with department name. You can write display student details along with department name. So how do you write? Select s dot s number comma s dot s name comma s dot age from comma d dot d name. Now here you see in your output columns you have columns from multiple tables, because s number s name age are in student table, department name is in department table. So you multiple columns from multiple tables. Subqueries will not work. Join mandatory. Select s dot s number comma s dot s name comma s dot age comma d dot d name from student s inner join dept d on s dot. There is no direct link between dept and student. No enrollment e on s dot s number is equal to e dot s number. Again inner join dept d on e dot d number is equal to d dot d number. That's it. This is your join query. In this query is not possible to write in subqueries. Did you understand? 100% join query is mandatory here. So if you want to retrieve the data, if you want to retrieve what multiple columns, if you want to retrieve what columns from multiple tables, if you want to retrieve columns from multiple tables, then what is recommended means joins is recommended. S dot S number is equal to E dot S number. That is right. I dot S number. Enrollment. Yeah. Okay. Right. That's right. Did you understand, everyone? In this scenario, we cannot work with joins. If you want to retrieve columns from multiple tables, because in subquery, what happened, once when the inner query is executed, that query will be that there is no control on that particular table. Once when we get the department number from DEPT table, there is in the result set. That is the reason. So when to go for subquery means, here I'm trying to tell. This is the point I told. when to use joins and when to use subqueries. Are you following? Here, when to use subqueries means if we want to retrieve the data from, if we want to display, simply you can write, if we want to display the output, if we want to display the columns, if we want to display the columns from single table, and the condition on other tables, okay na, then use what? Subqueries. Clear? So as a developer, that is your choice. Joins will support both the scenarios, but in the second scenario, it is not recommended to use joins, better to use subquery. In the first scenario, there is no other option, so we have to go for joins. Retrieve columns from multiple tables, joins is mandatory. Retrieve the columns from single table and condition on other table, then use what? Subqueries. Is it clear? Did you understand, everyone? So query inside another query is what? Subquery. For example, if I ask you one more query, write a query to display the employee details who is teaching .NET. I want to display the employee details who is can you hear me, everyone? Write a query to display the employee details who is teaching what? .NET. You have to practice actually. This is a simple project we are discussing. Okay, na? So who is teaching .NET? Which employee is teaching .NET? I want to get that particular employee details. Okay, so write a query, display the employee details who is teaching what? .NET. Okay, so here who is teaching .NET? First go to course table. Catch the course ID of .NET. What is that one? C1. Now go to course instructor table. Catch the employee number of C1. What is that one? 102 and 104. Now go to employee table. Who is 101? Anil. 104 is not there. I'll add 104 also manually. 104 some James, some 40K I will try to give, something like this. Is it clear? Let us assume I added one more column here. Here James, I'll try to give. Okay, subqueries are very powerful. Don't neglect. Okay, this is only assignment. Whatever the queries I'm giving you now, you try to practice all these queries. So how to write the query here? First go to which table? Course table. Catch the course ID of .NET. Select CID from course, where CNAME is equal to .NET. I will try to go. This is your inner query. So always the inner query will get executed first. And the result of the inner query given to outer query. Select course, select E number. Select E number from course instructor CI, where CID in, something like this. In is already there. So here first the inner query will execute now. Select CID from course where CNAME is equal to .NET. What is the output? C1. Now the outer query. Select E number from course instructor where CID, course instructor where CID in what? C1. Means you will get 102 and 104. Now that result given to outer query. Select E number, E name. Select E number if you want. E number comma E name from employee, where E number in, Is it clear? This is pure technically you have to understand. Don't start writing from outer query. If you start writing from outer query, you cannot, in your entire life, you cannot become expert in subqueries. Okay, na? Always try to write the inner query. First inner query will execute. Your mindset also in that manner, how the query will get executed. In the similar manner, you have to write the queries. This type of queries not recommended to use joins because execution time will be more. Did you understand, everyone? So subquery is recommended. So as a developer, you must know when to use subqueries and when to use what? joins. If you want to retrieve the columns from multiple tables, condition on another table. Columns from multiple tables, go for joins. If you want to retrieve columns from single table and condition on another table, then use what? Subqueries. So do the initial inner join query can return one column only? Initial inner join query. Yeah, I didn't understood your question here. It's very complicated English. I can understand only simple English. What I'm telling here, both the queries will give you what? Same output actually. Both the queries will give you same output. But as a developer, you must know clearly that if you want to retrieve columns from multiple tables, then you have to apply what? Join query. If you want to retrieve column from single table, columns from single table, condition on another table, then go for subqueries. Both will give same. If you want to write the same query in join query also, you can write. Select e dot e number, comma, e dot e name from empe inner join course instructor. EMPE inner join what? Course instructor CI. Course instructor CI on e dot e number is equal to CA dot e number. Again inner join. Inner join. What is other table? Course. Course C on C dot CID is equal to CI dot CID, where C dot C name is equal to .NET. Okay, na? But recommended to go for subquery. Single and multiple columns as well. Single column, yeah, single and multiple columns. Instead of telling single column, you can tell what? If you want to return columns from single table, if you want to display the columns from single table, columns means multiple also from single table, and condition on other table, then use what? Subqueries. Very, very powerful topic. Try to practice all the join query example with subqueries. Are you following everyone? So query inside another query is subquery. Always in subquery, the inner query will get executed first. The result of the inner query given to outer query. See this June 1st morning 11 a.m. we are starting .NET new batch. Okay, na? .NET means C#.NET, ASP.NET, SQL Server. I will cover Angular 8. Okay, na? Plus ASP.NET MVC plus .NET Core. Is it clear? And we'll do some real-time projects. All these things. Entity framework and everything. Full stack .NET developer, new batch I'm starting. That is June 1st, next Monday. June 1st, 2020. Contact Satya Technologies for any details. Did you understood? June 1st, 11 a.m. .NET new batch. If you want, you can register for the course at Satya Technologies website. Open Satya Technologies website, register for .NET course, and any of your friends are there also, you can intimate them, because right now there are heavy openings are there in .NET. Is it clear? Azure integrations also I will cover. Here you can open satyatech.com website. Is it clear? And you can .NET full stack. Yes. Complete .NET full stack by Kannababu, end to end. Okay, na? Just go to Satya Technologies website, and here you can open. Is it clear? Some free batches are also there. If anybody wants, you can attend free batches. Okay, na? Attend for free .NET demo. Click on register. 1st June 2020 at 11 a.m. Click on register now. And here you can give your details. Your first name, last name, email ID, city, phone number. Click on the submit button so that you will get the link to your Gmail. Just you can click the link and you can join in the course. Okay. Real-time project, everything. Yes. Real-time project will do. One real-time project on MVC, one real-time project on Angular 8, one real-time project on .NET Core. Totally 3 projects you will get in this package. Fees, details and everything we'll discuss at the demo time. You can attend Monday demo morning 11 o'clock. Is it clear? There's a good scope and demand for .NET full stack end-to-end developer. Duration maximum 2 to 2.5 months it will take total, because but you have to spend more time. Minimum 4 hours per day. If you spend 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour classes will cover. Parallelly we will learn. Did you understand everyone? This is about subquery. Query inside another query is what? Subquery. So always in subquery, the inner query will get executed first, and the result of the inner query given to outer query. Did you understand? And more powerful queries are there in subqueries. UI also, yes, UI also I will cover in this one. Did you understand? With plus UI technologies. Is it clear? UI technologies means HTML plus JavaScript, okay, na, plus CSS. In Angular we'll cover TypeScript, everything, Bootstrap, React, everything end-to-end full stack developer. Okay, na? Once when you complete this total course confidently, you can get the job, because maximum 60% of jobs are full stack, especially on .NET. Maximum all the small companies work on .NET only. MNCs anyway they will work. Java people will migrate to Python actually, because Python given a big stroke to Java, and still Python is also not only Python, no jobs. Python with data science is good. Python with DevOps is good. Python with Selenium is good. Python with machine learning. Python with Hadoop. Python scripting is very popular actually. If you take Python, Python is divided into two parts. People can use Python like scripting, and people use Python for programming also. Programming language also people will use. So Python is popular as a scripting compared with what programming. Who will use Python as a scripting means DevOps developer, similarly Salesforce developers, similarly Hadoop, similarly Selenium, similarly the AWS. Is it clear? These people will use Python actually. As a scripting they will use. Only Python, no value. Django developers. Django means if you want to develop any web application, they will use Python as a programming language. Django and Flask. In that scenario, they can use Python. So mostly experienced people, if you're already working with any other tools like DevOps or Salesforce or artificial intelligence, data science, Selenium, IoT, these type of people, Python is recommended. But only Python, getting job is difficult. If you want to use Python as a programming, you can use like Django, Flask, and everything. Okay, nowadays there is a good demand for full stack .NET developers. So, but you have to spend some time. Syllabus is also more. Getting job is also very easy. Power BI, MSBI belongs to pure, that is separate actually. SQL developers, only SQL server with, but still you people also must update actually. Now Azure and all the high-end tech. C# is mandate. Always, if you want to survive in software industry, you must take the support of one programming language. Don't depend on tools. If the tool will die, and again, it is very difficult to survive in the industry. Any language is required, either Python or Java or C#. One language you have to take backup, because in language you will learn the concepts, rules, syntaxes will be there. Only if you directly depend on tools like MSBI, Power BI, it is good, okay. But if suddenly recession will come or any problems are there, means survival is become very difficult. So you people, you try to update Azure as well as some other skill set also. Python plus Django plus Angular, yeah, that is good. Angular is mandatory. Yeah, Python is programming language also, but still it will be helpful for Django developers. Yeah, I will teach Azure also, but not now. After 1 week like that, I will plan Azure. Yeah, I will teach Azure. Just wait for 1 more week. We'll plan Azure also. Always there is a demand for end-to-end developers. Selenium, only Selenium, no use. Selenium with Python is good. Selenium, people in olden days, people use Selenium with Java, but there is a demand for Selenium with Python. Python plus SQL Server Core Java is helpful. No, not helpful. This is waste combination. Sai Divya. Python with SQL Server Core Java, no relation actually. If you want to try in Java, full stack Java developer, you can go. If you want to work with Python, full stack Python developer, you can go. And one database is also required, like MySQL or Mongo. This combination is not fit actually. It means you're not a complete Java developer, you're not a complete Python developer. and only SQL Server jobs are difficult. Only SQL Server, SQL DBA developers, some MSBA, Power BI developers, some support is required. Angular is a framework actually. It is not a programming language. It is a framework, client-side framework. I will teach Angular. I will teach .NET. I will teach Azure. Complete full stack UI, SQL Server, everything. I have an experience of minimum 14 years of experience in IT. Python plus SQL Server plus JavaScript. SQL Server will not fit for Python. MongoDB with Django, no use. Only Python, no use. I'm telling now. Python with some other Django. If you want to become a full stack Python developer, Python plus Django plus Flask, Angular, UI. That is mandatory. SQL class, it will take one more week. If you are hurry means I'll complete as soon as possible. You want me to complete fastly? Yeah, it is better. Hussein Wali, that is right. Flask is what, sir? It is also high-end framework like Spring Boot and .NET Core in Python. After Django, Flask is some high-end framework. Full stack Java developer means everything. Yeah, mostly. But Angular is mandatory. Sunny. Angular is also required. TSQL after 1 week, after completing of SQL. If you make me hurry, I'll complete soon. Okay, thank you, Ajay. SQL developer means if you have references means you can get the job as SQL developer. Only purely SQL means getting job is difficult. You must have the knowledge on some tools like MSBA, Power BI, or you must have the knowledge on some SQL DBA. That SQL DBA is also for experienced people. But one database is mandatory. Concepts are same for everyone. Okay, na? Thank you. That's it. Today we discussed about some basic queries and subqueries we have discussed. Tomorrow we'll see some more. We'll try to take some other. Tomorrow I will discuss some more powerful topics in SQL. Python, Django, MongoDB, add Angular. That is good. Django is like Spring, Flask is like Spring Boot. Data science, you have to contact Satya. Why you do you all of you today, whatever the task I'm giving is, whatever the queries I'm giving, all of you try to execute these queries. Is it clear, everyone? All of you try to execute these queries, whatever the queries I'm giving here. Is it clear? Try to execute these queries. You create the tables manually and try to execute all these queries. That is your today's task. Tomorrow we'll discuss some more powerful queries in SQL. More powerful queries we'll discuss in SQL. Okay, na? All are important interview questions. Tomorrow is only very, very important. Okay, na? How to delete duplicate records, how to display the maximum salary of an employee. All these things we'll discuss tomorrow. Azure not free, paid batch, hot cake in the market, Azure. Sir, do you know about Navizon? I don't know yet. Sir, for ERP based jobs, what are the skills should we acquire? Any job, one language is required, one technology is required, all these things are required. Yeah, industry is very good. You don't worry, 100% jobs are there. 100% companies are expecting the skilled people, but the only one point is update your skills. Without updating your skills, getting job is very difficult. Now companies are expecting full stack developers. Companies always, there is a demand in the current situation, even after lockdown also, companies are not ready to give trainings. They want the immediate product. Is it clear? Best combination with SQL Server, Azure or MSBA, Power BI, SQL DBA. These are the best combinations. .NET, super combination is .NET. Okay, for UI developer job, sir. Yeah, mean stack developer. Fees details and everything you attend for demo. I will explain to everyone. Is it clear, everyone? Here I will try to send the notes. Today's notes I will send in the WhatsApp group. Is it clear? This is your SQL servers 2020. I learned Python, Django, SQL server, Angular. Should I go with experience or fresher? That's up to you. First try as a fresher only. Nowadays, again, after this quarantine, companies also will not concentrate on what? No experience, nothing. Those who have skills, they can easily survive in the industry. Is it clear? The days are gone actually, having experience. Now there is a demand for freshers, 3 to 4 years experience people only. Because companies want to get good quality with less investment. That flexibility is there only with freshers. Okay, friends, thank you. Have a nice day. Tomorrow we'll continue. Bye. I forwarded the notes in your WhatsApp group. Okay, now tomorrow important class. Don't absent. All the powerful interview questions will come in tomorrow only. Fine. Bye.